Welcome to another episode where we dive deep into the latest in recruitment strategies, AI innovations, and HR solutions. If you're looking to elevate your hiring game and stay ahead in the ever-evolving world of talent acquisition, you're in the right place. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you never miss an episode filled with insights, expert interviews, and actionable tips to transform your recruitment approach. Stay tuned for exclusive content designed to make your hiring process smarter, faster, and more effective.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into something that I know is on a lot of your minds. Pre-seed funding.
Yeah.
Specifically, we've got a source here that's all about using LinkedIn for this, which, I'll be honest, kind of surprised me at first.
Right.
Like, I always thought of LinkedIn as more of a place for,
Job hunting.
exactly, job hunting, networking.
Yeah.
But this source makes a pretty compelling case for using it to land those early investors.
It really does. I mean, think about it. You've got a platform where investors are already active. They're looking for opportunities,
That's true.
especially in the SaaS world.
Right. So it's like, why not meet them where they already are?
Exactly. And the strategies in this source, I mean, they're not just like the basic
Yeah.
update your profile tips.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're talking about really using LinkedIn strategically.
Totally. Like crafting your profile with an investor's eye in mind,
Yes.
building a content strategy that goes beyond just, product announcements. And even like using comments and engagement to position yourself as a thought leader.
It's all about standing out. There's so much noise on LinkedIn.
Oh, for sure.
But if you can cut through that, that's when you get noticed.
Absolutely. So first things first, let's talk about that profile makeover. This source is all about viewing your profile through an investor's lens.
It's a complete shift in perspective.
It is. It's not about listing every job you've ever had. It's about making it crystal clear what you're building, the problem it solves, and the opportunity for investors.
Think of it like this. You have maybe, 6 seconds to grab their attention? You need to make it count.
So let's say your headline right now is software engineer.
Yeah.
This source would probably be like, scrap that.
Chuckles, pretty much.
You need something punchier, something that immediately tells an investor what you're all about.
Right, like building saws to revolutionize project management, something like that.
Okay, I like that. And then there's the summary section, right?
Yes, that's your chance to really dive in.
Okay, so what kind of things would you recommend putting in there?
Well, you want to tell your story, your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Paint a picture of the problem you're solving and why it matters.
And then the big one, this source really hammers home traction.
Traction. You can have the best idea in the world,
Right.
but if you can't show that it's gaining momentum, it's a tough sell.
So for someone in the pre-seed stage, what does traction even look like?
Great question. In the pre-seed stage, it might be early user signups,
Okay.
positive feedback from beta testers.
Yeah.
Maybe you've even generated a little revenue.
I see. So it's about proving that you're not just at the idea stage.
Exactly. You're executing, you're making things happen.
It's like saying, hey, we're onto something here.
Yep. Investors want to see that. It de-risks the investment.
So traction, super important. Got it. Now let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Talk about networking, but I think the way this source talks about it might surprise some people.
It's not about spamming connection requests.
Nope. It's all about building genuine relationships.
It's about engagement. It's about contributing value.
Right. So instead of just hitting that connect button, the source really emphasizes engaging with investors' content.
Meaningfully, right.
Yes, genuinely.
Not just leaving a great post comment.
Right. So let's say an investor you admire posts an article about, I don't know, the future of remote work.
Okay, yeah.
What would be a good way to engage with that?
Well, you could share a relevant experience from your own journey building a SaaS product for remote teams. Or you can ask a thoughtful question that sparks further discussion.
So it's about showing that you're not just passively consuming content.
Right.
You're adding to the conversation.
You're an active participant. You're engaged in the space.
And that makes you more memorable, right?
Exactly. And then, when you do send that connection request, personalize it.
Oh, that's so important.
It is. Mention something specific that resonated with you from their profile or their content.
It shows you've done your homework.
It does. It shows you're not just mass messaging every investor on LinkedIn.
Right. It's about building those genuine connections.
That's where the magic happens.
And that's something I think we sometimes forget about in the hustle of trying to secure funding.
It's easy to get caught up in the pitch, right?
It is.
But investors are people too. They want to connect with passionate founders who are building something they believe in.
So building that trust and credibility is essential.
It's the foundation of any successful funding journey.
I love that. So we've talked about revamping your profile, taking a more strategic approach to networking,
Yep.
and emphasizing that all-important traction. But what about content? How can you create content that actually catches an investor's eye?
Oh, that's a great question, and I think this source has some really interesting ideas about that.
Well, let's dive into that then, shall we?
Let's do it. So we're talking content, right? And this source has this idea about moving beyond just product updates.
Right, because everyone's doing those.
Exactly. It's kind of like, okay, great, you launched a new feature,
Mm-hmm.
but what does that really tell an investor?
Right. It doesn't really paint the bigger picture.
Nope. And that's what this source is all about, thought leadership.
Okay, I like that. So what does that actually look like in practice?
Well, instead of just announcing, hey, we built this cool new thing,
Yeah.
it's more like, here's why this problem exists in the first place, here's how we're approaching it differently, and here's the impact you're already making.
Ooh, I like that. It's more about the why, not just the what.
Exactly. You're educating your audience.
Which includes investors, right?
Of course. Investors are part of your audience. You're positioning yourself as an expert in your field, someone who understands the market inside and out.
So, like, sharing data-driven insights about your target customer.
That's a great example. Or maybe you write about emerging trends in the SaaS industry. Offer solutions to common problems your ideal customer faces.
It's about providing value, not just asking for something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of value, this source has this awesome tip about multimedia.
Ooh, yes. I was going to bring that up.
It's not just about text posts anymore. Incorporating images, videos, maybe even snippets of your SaaS in action.
Oh, yeah. Show, don't tell.
Right. It makes your content so much more engaging, and it helps investors actually visualize what you're building.
It's like giving them a sneak peek behind the scenes.
Exactly. And it makes your profile stand out in a sea of text-heavy posts.
Okay, so we've got the profile makeover, the networking, the content strategy. What else is in this LinkedIn treasure chest?
Well, this source also talks about LinkedIn groups and events, and it emphasizes being more than just a lurker.
Oh, I'm so guilty of that.
Laughing. We've all been there. It's easy to join a bunch of groups and then just passively scroll through the feed.
But this source is saying that's not enough, right?
Nope. If you want to really leverage LinkedIn groups, you need to be an active participant.
Okay, so what does that look like?
It's about contributing to discussions, sharing your insights, engaging with other members,
And that includes investors, right?
especially investors. It's a way to get on their radar organically, to build relationships within your niche.
Makes sense. And then there are LinkedIn events, right?
Don't forget about those,
Right.
especially the virtual ones. They're a gold mine for connecting with people outside your immediate network.
And you get to hear from investors directly, understand their perspectives.
And potentially even pitch your MVP in a dedicated setting.
Okay, so we're really hitting all the bases here, but I want to talk about standing out from the crowd.
Ah, yes, the million-dollar question.
Because there's so much noise on LinkedIn, how do you make sure investors actually see you?
Well, this source has some really good tips for that, starting with recommendations.
Recommendations.
Think of them as like social proof that you and your MVP are the real deal.
So who should you be asking for recommendations?
Reach out to your beta users, early advisors, anyone who can vouch for your expertise and the potential of your SaaS.
Those testimonials are like gold.
They really are. Having them on your profile adds so much credibility.
It's like having someone else sing your praises.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It helps investors see you through the eyes of others.
And then there's this tactic that I absolutely loved from the source, engaging with investor polls and comments.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It's so clever because it puts you right in their line of sight.
It's strategic positioning, right?
Yeah.
You're not just showcasing your knowledge, you're engaging with the content investors are already consuming.
It's like the saying, go where the fish are. Exactly.
You're not chasing them down, you're meeting them where they already are.
And that's so much more effective.
And it shows that you're proactive, strategic, which are all qualities investors love.
Right. It all goes back to understanding your target audience. Where do they spend their time? What content are they engaging with?
And then tailoring your LinkedIn strategy accordingly. Exactly. It's not about shouting your pitch from the rooftops.
Nope.
It's about being smart, being strategic, and building those genuine connections.
It's about showing up where it matters.
Yes, and I think that's what makes this source so valuable.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about getting funded, it's about building a sustainable business.
And using LinkedIn as a tool to do that.
Exactly. It's a long-term game.
And the payoff can be huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So are you ready to put some of these strategies into action?
I am. And I bet our listeners are too. But first, let's wrap up this deep dive with some key takeaways and a final thought-provoking question.
Sounds good to me.
Mm.
It's really about building that network, that support system that can help you at every stage.
Totally. I mean, those connections, they can become customers,
Absolutely.
advisors, even future team members.
It's like building your own ecosystem.
Okay, so, listener, let's do a quick recap. What are some things you can take from this deep dive and start implementing, like, today?
Okay, so first off, that LinkedIn profile, got to make sure it's investor ready.
So we're talking
Highlighting your vision, the potential, any traction you've already got.
traction. Can't forget the traction.
Exactly. And then second, get involved. No more lurking in groups.
Right. Be present.
Comment on posts, join discussions, go to those virtual events.
Show them you're serious.
Exactly. Show them you're an active part of the community.
Okay. And third?
Content. Got to have a solid content strategy.
So not just product updates.
Right. Think bigger, showcase your expertise, use visuals.
Bring that sauce to life.
Exactly. Give them something to really grab onto.
Okay. I like it. Anything else?
Oh, yeah. That personalization thing we talked about. Don't forget that.
Oh, that's huge.
It really is. Whether it's a connection request or a comment, make it personal. Show them you're not just copying and pasting the same message to everyone.
It makes a difference.
Big time.
Okay, so that's a lot to take in.
It is.
But remember, you don't have to do everything at once, right?
No. Start small. Pick one or two things that resonate with you and build from there.
Consistency is key.
Absolutely. And remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
LinkedIn isn't a quick fix.
Nope. Building relationships, establishing yourself as that go-to expert, it takes time.
So don't get discouraged if you don't see results immediately.
And keep at it, keep learning, keep refining your approach.
Play the long game.
That's it.
So what if we took this a step further, beyond the pre-seed funding?
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
What if your LinkedIn presence became like your secret weapon?
Ooh, I like that. Secret weapon.
For building a thriving SaaS business?
I mean, think about it. You could attract not just investors, but customers, partners.
Advocates for your brand?
All because you're consistently showing up, sharing valuable insights, building those genuine connections.
Powerful stuff.
It really is. And that's something to keep in mind as you go on this pre-seed journey.
Well said. And listener, we're so excited for you and everything you're building.
You've got this.
And hey, we're here to support you every step of the way.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.
Until next time, happy networking.
Politic is revolutionizing recruitment with next-gen software solutions for companies. But we're not stopping there. We're enhancing the candidate experience with high-quality, bug-free application pages, real-time status notifications, and a supportive job board portal, designed to make job searches smoother and more engaging. Profilytic redefining recruitment for everyone involved.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest episodes and exclusive content designed to enhance your recruitment strategies.